Hello, everyone. I'm Sharon McKnight. I'm co-chair of the Talking Wellness group who put this on. Barbara Relay, who's up here before, was also co-chair. We have many people here in the audience who are part of the Witness for Wellness program. We have Ken Wells here, the director from UCLA NPI portion of the project. We have Loretta Jones here, the head of Healthy African American Families. We have Sequoia, who's here, who's part of our Talking Wellness group, and helped us to get the World Stage Gallery here to do our presentation, so we're very thankful for that. So before we get started, I just wanted to read you guys from a book by Ken Wells called Beating Depression, The Journey to Hope. They got many letters from women who were depressed for many different reasons, and I thought it would be appropriate for me to start off with a portion of one of these letters that we read at one of our other conferences before. So just to start off, a little history here. For people with depression, it's important to know that they are not alone in how they feel. And although depression impacts people in different ways, nearly everyone with serious depression has periods of feeling othermost lost and feeling alone. Many feel that there's no way for them to get help anywhere they go. During the Partners in Care study, which Ken was part of, they found they also received letters from many people with depression. So this is one of the ones I'm going to read to you. This is from a woman. She says, "To whom it may concern, thank you beforehand for the attention you have given me. I'm writing you this small letter. My problem, or the reason for my profound sadness, is due to the fact that I was a woman excited about the birth of her first child who never thought that what she thought would complete her happiness, the birth of her child, would be completely different. Her little girl was born with cerebral palsy. It has been 2 years, and I can assure you that they have been the saddest and toughest ones I've lived. As you know, there are more different times ahead, and only God knows what our destiny holds in store. It's true, I am very sad, but there's a little girl who needs me and her father, and we will be there. We will be with her for as long as she needs us. I have to put all my suffering aside for my little girl, whom I love very much, and I ask God to keep her forever and to give me the strength to care for my little girl. I tell you these things to let you know that personally I feel like no one could help me find solace. I can't. I can leave things as they are, live life as it presents itself, but God knows that day after my mother's grief is always present, even though there are days when I'm even more depressed. And I do have very different days, especially when someone says to me, "Have a nice day." To me, these words are foreign, and to be honest, I feel bitter towards life itself. It's been 2 years where I've known no happiness, and God knows how long to be happy. But with my little girl, who can't even look at me now, how? I thank you for your attention, and I'm at your service. So this was basically a heartfelt letter stressing the points that clinical depression can start after a serious life event. And this woman's words reveal her struggle with the sadness and the grief. And her letter also shows how deep the love is for her daughter. And her tremendous courage and strength. But her situation is very difficult and she's very sad. So it's just one of the forms of how depression manifests itself.
Many of you don't know what Witness for Wellness is, so I just wanted to give you like kind a pencil.
Did you turn the mic on?
Or, is that turned on? I am not allowed to touch things.
No, we want to hear you.
The book that Sharon read from is a book that Ken Wells put out. And when Ken Wells did the research and he put this book out, he and I had a meeting, and he said, I really want to get this information back to community. I really want community to know about, depression and how the results of his study were taken, where African Americans really, because they've been an untapped source of getting wellness, it was able to get wellness, and not only did they get better, but they got better than others. And their socioeconomic status changed. The number of days absent from work changed. Almost everything about their lifestyle changed with a short intervention. And so he and I talked about it and said, well, we ought to do a conference. And he said, yeah. And I said, you got any money? Always someone has to have money. And so he said yes, and then we came back and I said, well, before I go out there and develop this conference, I better ask community what it thinks. So I went around community and says, how many people think we ought to have a conference on depression? And the response was overwhelming. It actually was frightening. And people said, we don't talk about depression in our community that way. And so we had a conference, and we did it differently. We actually had tables and had people sit around tables and tell us what depression meant to them. How do you describe depression? Whose business is it? And we took that data, and then Ken and I agreed that we would document the whole process of how this works and how community gets involved and how we change the face of depression in our community. So as you know, if you came in and signed in, we actually asked you to sign in a research project because we really need to document all of this to show the community can be involved, community can make a difference in the health of its own. And so I just wanted to give you that much. And I wanted to also, Ken, you have to stand up a little bit. This is my partner in crime, and we do everything together. So the university is one side of it, I'm the other. We have Drew University and RAND Corporation, and we actually always sit down with a council of community to talk and make any decision. So the decision to do this was a decision that was based with community and everybody. So we always bring everybody to the table. You're one of the members, so you know. And so everything happens with community. So I just wanted you to know that this is what we do, and we want to find out if this works, because this is going to be another way of getting community to understand what depression is. Thank you.